I earn close to 100k a year as a dentist in London, but I make £0 outside of my job. And that's a problem because if I stop working tomorrow, my income goes to zero. Everything I have right now depends on one thing, my job. If I burn out, income stops. If I want to take time out or leave the UK, my income stops. And that's the part I didn't really think about before, because on paper, 100k sounds secure, but in reality, it's completely dependent on me showing up every single day. And this isn't just a dentist problem, this is how most people live their lives. One job, one income source is still the same exact structure. And if that income disappears, everything else gets affected. For a long time, I thought earning more would solve this, but it doesn't. It just makes the system more comfortable. You're still trading time for money, just at a higher rate. And once I realized that, I started thinking differently. So my goal now is to build 10k per month outside of dentistry. Not immediately, not in a year's time, but over time. Because this isn't really about making more money, it's about creating options. Right now, I feel like I don't really have any. Everything depends on me continuing to show up at work. So I've been thinking about how I can change that. And I'm keeping it simple. The first thing is YouTube, this channel. I'm just documenting what I'm doing and seeing if I can build something from it. I don't expect to make money quickly, but it's one of the few things that isn't directly tied to my time. If it works, it scales. The second thing is sponsorship. The second thing is sponsorships. That comes later once there's an audience. And then there's investing. I'm currently investing mainly in crypto, but I don't really rely on that as an income source. It's not predictable, it's just something that might grow over time. And if any of this actually starts working, I will probably just share what I'm doing along the way, not as someone teaching it, just as someone figuring it out in real time. Because right now, I don't have results. This could take a few years, and it might not work at all. So I'd rather try to build something than rely on one income source forever. And I'm not even focused on 10k right now. That's just the long-term target. Right now, it's simpler than that. Can I make a single pound outside of my job, then £100, then 1,000, and just build it up step by step? And to be honest, I don't even need 10k straight away. If I can just get around 1k a month, that already changes a lot. Because in somewhere like Thailand, 1k a month is actually enough to live. Not luxury, but enough. And that gives me options. It means I could leave the UK earlier, reduce my expenses, and focus more time on building something like this YouTube channel, instead of trying to build everything while working full time with a job. I'd have more free time and less pressure. And the reason I keep mentioning Thailand specifically is because it just makes more sense for what I'm trying to do. The cost of living over there is way cheaper than London. I don't need as much money to sustain myself. And it's not just about the money. The weather is better. You're not dealing with grey skies all the time. Cold, rain, that kind of depressive environment. And I think that actually affects you more than you realize. People over there are generally more relaxed, social, and just happier overall. Whereas in London, everything feels a bit more rushed, a bit more stressful. And when you combine that with work, it can get really draining and burn you out over time. So for me, Thailand isn't just about saving money, it's about putting myself in a better environment while I'm trying to build something. Somewhere I actually enjoy being, instead of working just all the time. And I think that makes a big difference, especially when you're trying to stay consistent with something like this. And to be honest, part of the reason I'm thinking about all this is to avoid myself from burning out completely. Because trying to work a full time job and build something on the time, long term, that's not really sustainable. So, my plan right now is to go Thailand next year and spend a few months over there focusing fully on YouTube, not permanently, just as a test, to see what happens when I actually have time to focus on it properly. Because right now, everything I'm doing is around my job, and that slows everything down. So, the idea is simple: work in the UK, save as much as I can, and give myself a few months where I don't have to worry about work and just focus on building something that really matters to me. Because in somewhere like Thailand, my living costs are much lower, so I don't need as much money to sustain myself. Realistically, I'd probably need around 10 to 15k saved to do that comfortably for a few months, which is what I'm working towards right now. Saving from my job so I can buy myself time to work on my YouTube channel. Then after that, come back to the UK, work again, and repeat this process if needed. It's not about quitting everything immediately, it's more like creating space to actually build something with more flexibility with my time. Because if I can get to a point where I have income coming in that isn't directly tied to me physically being at a job, that changes everything. That allows me to leave dentistry, it allows me to leave the UK, and that gives me the flexibility that I want. So right now, I make £0 outside of my job, and the goal is to change that. I don't know how exactly this is going to play out, but I'm just going to document it and see what happens.